You wake up, the alarm blaring like a siren, and the first thought that hits you is already heavy. I'm behind. Can't catch up. Even before your feet touch the floor, your body is tense, your chest tight. You've been running on this loop for weeks, months, maybe even years, and it's starting to feel like your own brain is betraying you. You sip your coffee, but it doesn't soothe. You scroll through emails, notifications, tasks piling up like a storm you can't outrun. And somewhere in the back of your mind, you wonder, why do I feel like this all the time? What is this doing to me? That question, the silent, nagging curiosity, sets the stage for a story about your most intimate companion, your brain under chronic stress. Stick with me because what you're about to learn could change the way you think about your own mind, your habits, and even your health. Stress isn't new. Our ancestors ran from predators, solved survival puzzles, and their brains evolved to react in milliseconds. The stress response, often called the fight or flight reaction, was designed to protect. A sudden threat triggered a surge of adrenaline, heart racing, muscles tensing, senses sharpening, and then, once the danger passed, the body returned to calm. Fast forward to today, and the threats aren't lions or falling rocks. They're deadlines, social pressures, financial worries, the constant ping of notifications. Your brain's ancient machinery is still firing full throttle, but the threats never leave. That's where chronic stress begins, silently shaping your brain, reshaping your thinking, your behavior, and even your body chemistry. Imagine your brain like a city at night. In a normal state, the lights blink in rhythm, traffic flows smoothly, and power stations hum quietly. Chronic stress is like a blackout, followed by sporadic power surges that never stop. Cortisol, the stress hormone, floods the system, flooding areas like the hippocampus, which handles memory, and the prefrontal cortex, which governs decision-making and emotional regulation. Over time, these regions literally start to shrink, while the amygdala, your brain's emotional alarm system, grows more reactive. It's not magic, it's biology. Your brain is literally rewiring itself in response to what it perceives as danger. Think about the last time you snapped at someone for a tiny thing or felt overwhelmed by tasks that used to feel manageable. That's your amygdala on high alert, your prefrontal cortex struggling to mediate. And the hippocampus. It's like a librarian who's losing books by the day, making it harder to form new memories or recall old ones. Chronic stress doesn't just make you feel tired or anxious. It hijacks your cognitive toolkit. Your brain is in survival mode, even when survival is just answering emails and paying bills. But here's where it gets more fascinating. You may have noticed that stress isn't just in your mind, it lives in your body. Muscle tension, headaches, digestive issues, and sleep disruption are all common. Research even shows that chronic stress can alter the immune system, making you more susceptible to illness, and it can accelerate aging at a cellular level. The body and brain are inextricably linked, which means stress isn't just a feeling. It's a physical condition, a biological reality. Your cells, neurons, and hormones all carry the imprint of your daily pressures. Let's pause for a moment and consider something many people overlook. Stress isn't inherently bad. It's the duration and intensity that matters. Short bursts of stress can sharpen focus, enhance performance, and even improve resilience. It's chronic, unrelenting stress that becomes toxic. And yet, society often glorifies stress. I'm so busy I barely sleep, I have no time for myself. We wear it like a badge of honor, even though our brains are quietly screaming under the pressure. There's a particularly dramatic effect chronic stress can have that might shock you. It can literally rewire your emotional responses. Studies show that people under prolonged stress can become more reactive to negative stimuli and less sensitive to positive experiences. That's why you might feel perpetually anxious, sad, or irritable, even when there's no immediate danger. The brain's emotional thermostat is skewed, and you feel it in every interaction, every decision, every moment of daily life. Your brain is trying to protect you, but in doing so, it's also making it harder for you to enjoy calm, connection, and pleasure. Now, here's a story to illustrate what this looks like in real life. Picture Sarah, a marketing executive in her early 30s. She's brilliant, driven, and organized, but she never stops. She wakes at 5:30 a.m., checks emails before brushing her teeth, and works until late at night. Coffee is her fuel, anxiety is her companion. Over time, Sarah starts forgetting meetings, misplacing documents, snapping at colleagues, and feeling exhausted even after 8 hours of sleep. She feels trapped, frustrated, and confused. I should be fine. I'm successful. Why can't I handle this? What Sarah is experiencing is textbook chronic stress. Her hippocampus is under strain, her amygdala is overactive, her prefrontal cortex is taxed. Her brain is screaming for rest, but she interprets that scream as weakness and keeps going. The dramatic moment comes when stress begins to intersect with health. Sarah wakes one morning with a pounding heart, shortness of breath, and a gnawing sense of dread. She doesn't have a heart attack, but she realizes her brain and body have been living under a constant emergency alert. That recognition is frightening but also liberating. Awareness is the first step toward reclaiming control. Chronic stress changes your brain, but your brain is plastic. It can adapt again, and with deliberate practices, it can heal. This brings us to the hopeful part of the story. What you can do to protect your brain, even in a world that seems designed to keep it on high alert. The first is mindfulness. Not the vague, Instagram-style mindfulness, but concrete, daily practices that signal to your brain that danger isn't omnipresent. Even a few minutes of deep breathing, meditation, or focused attention can reduce amygdala hyperactivity and enhance prefrontal cortex function. Think of it as resetting the city lights after a blackout, bringing traffic and power back to normal. Next is physical activity. Exercise is not just good for the body. It's a powerful neurochemical modulator. Movement reduces cortisol, increases endorphins, and promotes neurogenesis, the birth of new neurons, particularly in the hippocampus. Your brain literally grows new cells when you walk, run, or engage in strength training. It's a direct countermeasure to stress-induced shrinkage. Social connection is another critical factor. Humans are wired for connection. Supportive relationships buffer stress responses and can literally change how your brain reacts to challenges. Loneliness, by contrast, amplifies stress signaling and triggers a cascade of negative effects. Even a brief, genuine interaction with someone who sees you, hears you, and validates your experience can soothe your amygdala and strengthen your prefrontal cortex. Sleep, of course, cannot be overstated. Chronic stress often sabotages sleep, but lack of restorative sleep compounds stress's impact on the brain. Deep, quality sleep is when your brain consolidates memories, clears toxins, and resets neurochemical balances. Protecting sleep isn't optional. It's non-negotiable for a resilient mind. Nutrition also plays a subtle but profound role. Your brain thrives on balanced blood sugar, omega-3 fatty acids, and micronutrients that support neurotransmitter production. Chronic stress disrupts digestion and nutrient absorption, so feeding your brain isn't just a wellness cliché. It's science. Finally, mindset matters. The stories you tell yourself, the mental narratives you repeat, shape neural pathways. Viewing stress as an insurmountable enemy entrenches neural patterns of fear and reactivity. Seeing stress as a signal to pause, reflect, and recalibrate rewires your brain toward resilience. Sarah learned this the hard way. Once she acknowledged her limits, practiced mindfulness, and reintroduced movement, sleep, and connection, she didn't just survive. She began to thrive. Her brain, once on constant high alert, gradually returned to a more balanced, calm state. As the story winds down, here's what we've uncovered. Chronic stress is not just a feeling, it's a biological force that rewires your brain, alters your emotions, and affects your body. It's subtle, cumulative, and often invisible until it manifests as memory lapses, irritability, anxiety, or health issues. But there's hope. The brain's plasticity is your superpower. With intentional practices, mindfulness, exercise, social connection, sleep, nutrition, and a compassionate mindset, you can restore balance, reclaim calm, and foster resilience. If there's one takeaway, it's this. Your stress is real, and it matters, but so does your ability to adapt. Awareness is the first step, action is the second, and persistence is the key. You have the capacity to rewire your brain, strengthen your prefrontal cortex, soothe your amygdala, and cultivate a life that doesn't feel like constant survival. So next time your heart races at a morning email, or your mind spirals at a mounting task, remember Sarah, remember your brain city at night, and remember this. Stress isn't the enemy, it's a signal. A signal that your brain is asking for a pause, a reset, a moment to breathe and reclaim its natural rhythm. And when you respond thoughtfully, consistently, and with self-compassion, you're not just surviving, you're transforming. By the end of this journey, you've learned what chronic stress truly does, why it hijacks your emotions and cognition, and most importantly, how to use science and psychology to reclaim control over your mind. You've glimpsed the drama inside your own brain and discovered that the path to calm isn't some distant fantasy. It's accessible, actionable, and profoundly human. So, take a breath, move your body, connect with someone who matters, and sleep tonight like your brain deserves. After all, the story doesn't end with stress. It ends with resilience, rewiring, and the awakening of your self-awareness.